What's up? Mark Henninger, Sound+Vision here at CEDIA 2024 with Nick Brown at the SVS booth. You know SVS is going to have something awesome. I just wasn't expecting how awesome it is. Nick, what is it that I'm talking about?
First of all, Mark, this is the sharpest dressed man here at the show, so kudos to you for that. And if you can't see the sneaks, I mean, he is just nailing it. This is potentially the biggest, no, actually, it is the biggest launch we've ever had because this is the largest, most powerful subwoofer series SVS has ever made. Our new flagship 17 Ultra Revolution series. We got the ported model here, the little cutaway action, and then our SB17 Ultra Revolution over there, our sealed cabinet model.
Dang. So what is the step up from the previous 16 Ultra?
Across the board, I mean, if you think of a subwoofer as an ecosystem, you have the driver, you have the amplifier, you have the cabinet design, you have the DSP. All of these aspects in every way was upgraded over the previous 16 Ultra series. So you get greater output, low frequency extension down to 8 Hertz with the PB version, 11 Hertz with the SB version, and you're talking about real output at these deep infrasonic low frequency levels. And there's some really cool innovations that we've done to the driver and amplifier to enable these not only to hit those sort of numbers that really are going to impress people as far as the output and deep bass extension, but also in the usability and how they can operate in a normal house. You might ask, Mark, what are those innovations?
Yeah, that looks crazy. That motor is a monster.
So this is a 60-pound motor. It's a quad ferrite magnet motor, toroidal, and we had 8-inch voice coils in our 16 Ultra to be able to control that driver. So how do you make that better? You do 2 8-inch voice coils. So we have a dual 8-inch voice coil design being fed by a dual monoblock amplifier. So each voice coil is getting a discrete current from the dual monoblock amplifier, which allows us to run with greater efficiency, but also increase the magnetic force within that motor to control that driver with absolute precision. So even at those extreme output levels, you're getting musicality, you're getting pinpoint accuracy, pristine details. It's really, really refined, even for a 17-inch driver, which, as you get bigger, it's harder to control that and get that level of precision.
Dual 8-inch, and that's like double what you had before, like straight up?
Absolutely.
Damn.
Double the amount of magnetic power, but also greater efficiency. And the other big part of that is the DSP. It has 5 times the processing power of the 16 Ultras. It's a 295 megahertz analog devices DSP. And I know with subwoofers, the brain isn't always as sexy as the brawn when you're talking about performance, but the amount of advanced calculations and adjustments this is making in real time are critical to the performance of this subwoofer. One, because you're up against the limits of what a 15 amp circuit in a home AC is able to produce. So this actually has power factor correction and a switch mode power supply that pretty much regulates the power so you always have enough current on demand to get that optimal performance out of the driver no matter what's coming out of the wall. And a lot of that is what the DSP is doing internally, but also that dual mono amplifier design.
Right on, and you must have really had to work on that cabinet too if you've got that much power going on.
That's part of it. The cabinet is actually roughly the same size as the 16 Ultra models. We removed the front panel display because it really wasn't needed anymore based on how much the app is used and how effective it is.
Sure.
So with the 17-inch driver, we're able to maintain roughly the same cabinet volume, but still see those massive increases in performance across the board.
Right on. And so you have ported, you have sealed. You want to speak on that?
Certainly. The one other big thing I'll mention before we talk about ported versus sealed is with that new DSP chipset, we're going to be able to add auto EQ room calibration right from your smartphone. So this will be an over-the-air update to the SVS smartphone control app, where now you'll be able to use the mic on your smartphone or an external mic connected to it, perform some advanced calibration in-room to really get them dialed in, and then further refine it through some of the other measurement and adjustments you can make in the app. So like you said, the ported version here will have the variable port tuning, so you'll be able to use the plugs to run it in sealed mode, extended mode if you want to get a little bit deeper, 8 Hertz if that's not deep enough, or you want to trade it for output, you'll be able to do that and change the port tuning frequency within the app. And then obviously the SB16 is going to just have that absolute pinpoint control, really great fidelity for you audiophiles out there, and have as much headroom as you could possibly need for any kind of musical content or home theater that you're into.
Well, I've seen you guys at some 2-channel shows, and at those 2-channel shows, I've recently seen 2.2 systems being shown off. So, what do you think of that? I mean, it used to be like taboo for the 2-channel audiophiles to have, subwoofers, but I've been using dual subs that way since I think 1992.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you especially are running like bookshelves or monitor speakers, they can definitely benefit from some extra support on that low end. And you're talking about more even bass response throughout the listening area. So when you have, extended seating or areas where you want to really have just that nice, evenly based output, that clean, authoritative bass everywhere without the peaks and the nulls, then dual subs is really going to help you do that.
So what we're not worried about is these having enough power.
I would not worry about that, nor would I worry about the power coming out of the wall to really make these sound their absolute best. Those are two things we wanted to account for, because there's nothing worse than having that moment to have like your lights flicker and the
let people know,
switcher
how
back.
much does it cost to add a dedicated line?
That I don't know. That you'd have to ask your electrician. But what I can tell you is that these are a very modest price increase over the 16 Ultras. This will be $29.99. The sealed version will be $24.99. They'll be available early October timeframe, and that will coincide with some aggressive pricing to get the 16 Ultras, which will be retired soon after the launch of these. So it'll be your last chance, if you did want that 16 Ultra form factor, to get in with one of those.
Wow. Amazing. Well, it's awesome to see you guys really up the game. That is not just a cosmetic upgrade. That is a huge power upgrade. I can see that quite clearly. Thanks, Nick. And I look forward to demoing them.
Can't wait to hear what you think. Thanks, Mark.